Today we are going to be servicing the engine of the car. Last time it was on the road is 2012. Last time it was serviced was probably 12 months before that, if not longer. So this is just to prolong the life of the engine. I will reservice the engine amongst everything else when the car is fully restored. So this time I'm not going to be adding any additives to the oil before we flush it. It'll just be a simple oil change amongst some other things. So we've got an oil filter, got an air filter, a fan belt because it's absolutely squeaking its head off. We've got a cam belt. I don't know if I'll be doing that in this video. I might do it off camera. We've got a set of plugs, and we've got some fresh oil. So because I'm just doing a simple oil change, I'm not going to be adding any additives to the oil. I'm going to let the car warm up, I'm going to let it tick over. And while I'm doing so, I'm going to strip these back seats, ready to be recovered. And by the time I'm finished, the engine will be nice and warm and the oil will come out of the seat. Been tipping over for quite a while now. While she's been running, I've disconnected the aftermarket alarm, which was wired into God knows what. Headlights, fuses, just earthed on the battery today, ran through the bulkhead, so that's been removed. Seats have been stripped, the backing plates are there ready to be refurbished when I've got the money to. The material is ready to be unupholstered and stripped and retaught when I've got a method of keeping the lines in the foam. The engine should be well warm now. The oil would have warmed up. So we're going to get started on this service. First things first, popped all these little plugs out. It's well easier when you've got the proper tool. Unless it's held on with cable ties, which some of these were. So I've dropped the skid plate. Absolutely minging. It's not looking too bad, rust wise anyway. But enough of that, let's get on with the service. Some plugs cracked. Got this container here, old screen mush, just got a hole in it. I can see me bound to make a mess, so I've took extra precautions, especially on the driveway. Bastard. It's making a mess. Bugger. That seems rather thin actually. It's not good. Oil fully drained now. Next is to remove the oil filter, which surprisingly enough, I've cracked it off with my bare hands. That was easier than expected. So then, this is quite an exciting time actually, because this is the first new part actually going on the vehicle. Firstly, what we're going to do is we're going to remove the O-ring. Hopefully I'm in the shot. So there's our oil filter. Here's our new oil. And what we're going to do is we're going to apply a smear of oil, new oil, to the O-ring. Generous amount. This is so when it's going back in, it doesn't chaff and kink on the block. And when this goes on, because I got it off in my hands, it'll only be going on hand tight yet again. With that all lubed up and smeared in brand new oil, it can now be installed on the engine. So I've googled the oil capacity because you can't get it through reading because it's not level, it's currently on jack stands. And I've lost my funnel, so this could be fun. Three and a half litres it takes. I'm going to start off with 3 and see how it is on a dipstick once it's level. Task 1 is completed for this video. I feel quite good knowing now that it's got good oil in it. I've put roughly 3 litres in, there's the 2 litre mark. It holds 5, so I've put approximately 3 litres in. I'm going to turn the car on and see where it sits. Once everything's settled down and level, I'll then top up if I need to. But task 2 is we're going to be whipping a new spark plugs in. First plug, plug number 4, on its way out. Not bad at all. First plug going back in, been gently slidden down. I'll come back to you when I've done all 4. Task number 2, replacing all 4 spark plugs, has been completed. Final HT lead going back on. Replaced all 4, they are different, but according to the reg, these are the right ones. So far so good. The 2 procedures that we've carried out, the oil and the plugs, we've had no hiccups. Moving on to the coolant system, I am quite concerned. I've been putting water in and it's not been touching it. Fill it up and it's gone. And when I got it, it was bone dry in here. And that's not a good sign either. So today we're going to be draining the system and we're going to be refilling it and flushing it. I've put 4 litres of water in this car. Let's see how much comes out. When the car does reach temperature, it drips from this drain plug, so that's going to want attention in the future. This water is going to be disgusting. Hopefully, if I undo this, it releases the vacuum and the water comes out. I'll come back to you when it's fully drained. We've got a little bit of water down there, but on further inspection, hopefully you can hear this. The pipe is crunching, so it's dead to know what's built up inside there, but we're going to find out. Jubilee clips off, I've just broke the seal, and this is the heater matrix pipe by the looks of it. Yeah, it's going to want a good flush with the hose. Next step I'm going to take is I'm going to remove the header tank. I'm going to undo the 2 Jubilee clips, unbolt it, and then unhook it. Header tank is out, I was greeted with rust on both ends yet again. and I'm going to go ahead and clean this off camera. And the first step I'm going to take is I'm going to flush the radiator with the hose. Bucket is in place, coat is zipped up because I'm bound to make a mess. Let's see how this goes. Pure rusty water coming through. With the hose still going, I'm going to reinsert the drain plug so that it flushes the whole radiator and comes out this top hose. We've also got water now coming out of the engine itself, which is a good sign that there's no blockages. So we're going to continue to leave this to run while I clog the radiator back up. Radiator bung going in, out the top hose it comes. Again, just changing the orientation of the water flow. As you can see, it's rust again coming out of there. Not too bad now, nice and clear. Back into the radiator from the opposite direction. Nice and clear. Disconnected the bottom hose, so the heat matrix is now completely independent. Once that water runs clear, I'm going to flush it back the opposite way round. And once again, got nice fresh water. The external water flush went quite nice. We got a good result. I'm quite happy with the flow of water coming through the radiator. Quite happy with the colour of the water coming through. It's now time to see what the inside of the engine looks like. There's your thermostat. Thermostat now removed. This is what the cylinder head looks like. Just keep going till it's clean. In my eyes, the flush is now successful. We've got fresh water coming from every orifice. It's now ready to be buttoned back up. The pipes are going to go back on. Yeah, the tank still needs to be cleaned, but I do need to replace this gasket. So with the thermostat housing unplumbed from the cylinder head, I decided to go ahead and rebuild the whole unit. And I'm glad I did, because this one is stuck open. That gap in there should not be there. And as you can see, in there, I don't know if the thermostat's deteriorated because there's been no coolant, or that debris come from elsewhere and then clogged it. But this is the new one. There's no gap in there, so we shouldn't have an issue. It took me a while to get the parts, chasing the part shops, here, there and everywhere. Took the thermostat out itself. I destroyed the retain clip doing so. That's what it should look like. Got a new gasket, and we've got a new O-ring. And the thermostat housing has been wire wheeled, and it's come up quite nice. We've now got two lovely mateable surfaces ready to be separated with our brand new gasket. Fully reassembled, had the tanks on, got it as clean as it can. It's now time to refill the system. First things first, got this bottle of ready mix coolant, just a cheap 99p one. It's going to get the old bottle. I'm just going to top the rest of it up with water. As we can see, it is above the maximum, but that's because there's no thermostat open and we're going to have to bleed the system as well. Just undone the drain plug on the radiator, and as we can see, it's completely empty. So we're going to start the bleeding process. We're going to top it up with water and we're going to wait until the car reaches temperature. You can hear the air coming through, so the radiator still isn't full. With the coolant system completely reassembled, everything's replumbed, everything's bled, and there doesn't seem to be any leaks or any sort of issues. So we're going to be moving on, and what's left in our box is two belts and an air filter, and we're going to do the easiest one first. Going to go ahead and swap out the air filter. Air filter swapped out, as simple as that, and this one isn't too bad to be honest, but we've replaced it anyway. Let's move on to the belts. So we can't gain access to the cover and the bolts either, so I'm just going to start ripping it apart, including the new air filter I've just put in. Air intake system is completely ripped out of the car. I've now got access to this bolt, so hopefully when that's undone, I've now got access to the cam belt. As you can see, the top cam cover has been removed, just inspecting the fan belt, and that's why it's squeaking its head off. So I'm making progress slowly. Everything's been going the way it should be going. Here's our timing mark, lined up with the dot on the cylinder head. Underneath, it's looking quite good as well. Alternator was seized in the position, so I undone the tensioner, well, the adjuster, and it was still seized. As we can see, I've undone both top mount bolts, and then I've removed the belt. Next, it was a two-man job to do this bit. I had to press the brake, put it in gear, and then undo the main crankshaft bolt with two spanners put together for extra leverage, and the fan belt pulley literally fell off. So it's been going quite easy. But it's now time to move on to getting this belt off. Before I undo the tensioner, which is that bolt there, I'm just double checking that the engine is still in time. looks good up there, and again on the crankshaft if we zoom in. It's in time as well, as you can see, just above the woodruff key. There's a notch, and then there's another notch on the actual engine as well. There. And they're both lined up. Time to undo the tensioner. And it's free. Tensioner's now been cracked off on both sides. Oiled and cracked that one off, and we done the other one just before. So slide over just like so. I'm not going to take the bolts out completely. Right, that's as far over as it goes. Let's remove the belt. Just like that. And then unhook it from the crankshaft. Side by side comparison. Looks good. Exactly the same belt. So we're going to be putting a new one on. Firstly I'm going to get underneath and hook it onto the crank. Feed it up into the engine bay. First pulley done. Next I'm going to pull that belt till it's tight, and I know that it's on the teeth. Got the belt tight against the water pump. Bottom pulley is still in the same position. Gonna pull it up like so. Get it started on the cam. Pull it up again so it's nice and tight. And now I'm gonna feed it around the tensioner. And now it's time to double check. It all looks good. Top timing mark is still in place, hopefully. Belt, nice and tight there. Bottom timing marks don't seem to have moved. As we can see, this slack on either side of the water pump. When I retension the tensioner and slide it over, that'll sort that out. Belt is fully reinstalled. We've got 90 degrees of play in the belt, which is what we want. Tension has been nipped up on both sides now. It's in line. It's going quite well. If I don't ruin the engine, this will be the first engine that I've timed. But before we reinstall everything, I'm going to go ahead and clean the engine bay a little bit. As you can see with all the sludge. Petrol bath the airbox, the cam covers and everything else. Petrol bath the engine bay, as you can see this chassis leg 10 times better. What I'm going to do first is get the cam covers on and then put the bottom pulley on. Cam cover, top and bottom, is now reinstalled. Coolant pipes are all in the right places. Airbox can now go back in. Top half the engine's now fully rebuilt. Airbox is in, cam cover. The plumbing for the coolant system is now rerouted to where it should be. It's all degreased. New air filters back in. Now time to put the bottom pulley back on. Fan belt pulley being reinstalled at the moment. Like so. All I've got to do now is to nip this 19mm bolt up. Alternator's all nipped up as well, been retensioned. And there's the new fan belt. 10 times better than it was, doesn't squeak anymore. And the alternator doesn't spin independently. So that's that one fixed as well. Moment of truth.
Turn it over.
Wipers are on. Service has now been completed. I'm rather happy with myself. First engine I've timed. It went quite smooth. We've got fresh petrol in the car. We're going to take it up and down the road and see how it performs. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I enjoyed making the video and working on the car. In this video what we covered is we done a full engine service, we done a timing belt, we done an air filter which is there, we done a fan belt, we done a coolant flush, we replaced the thermostat, we done an oil change with a new oil filter, and we give it a new set of plugs, and now it's running the best it's ever run while it's been in my possession, and I'm going to say the best it's ever run in the amount of time that it's ever been off the road. So if you liked the video, leave a like and comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.